Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching. You are most welcome to the Experts Corner. My name is Veronica Rose, and I'm joined by a doctor in cybersecurity named Jerry, and he is a senior cybersecurity consultant, apparently based in California, and he's going to share more about himself. Dr. Jerry, go ahead.
Thank you, Veronica. It is my pleasure to be on this wonderful channel, and it gives me a pleasure to talk to your audience as well as the rest of the world about cybersecurity, and particularly to our African audience about that issue, which I'm very passionate about. And like you mentioned, my name is Dr. Jerry Yonga. I'm a dean of the ICT University in Yaoundé, Cameroon. I'm also a lecturer where I lecture on cybersecurity law, governance, and just general principles of cybersecurity. I have been in the industry for over 30 years, and I started out as an IT information technology programmer and worked my way up to senior vice president. And so I've been in the industry before Google came about. So I have a good history of information technology and cybersecurity.
I can
So
imagine.
thank you. Yeah. hmm
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me today, Dr. Jerry. And considering your vast background in the industry, I would like you to share with us some ideas on how best can we address the cybersecurity skills gap.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Thank you. And so, one of the ways I think we can address the skill gap is to create curriculum on cybersecurity at the university and the college level, which today a lot of universities don't have that. So, that would be one way to start bridging that gap. Secondly, we need to collaborate between private and government partnerships because cybersecurity is not just an issue that affects the private sector, it also affects the government. So we need to create these private partnerships with the government. And thirdly, we need to encourage our young people
Yeah.
to get into technology.
Yeah.
The skill gap for cybersecurity, especially amongst our young women,
Mhm.
is very wide. And so we need to encourage our young women to start getting into the science, technology, and math. And I think by getting the younger generation into cybersecurity and us being like mentor, not just being a professor, being a good mentor, we will soon be seeing the gap closing up.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I'll still ask the same question on the same. But you mentioned you joined the industry prior to Google. That is quite interesting. And I would like you to give us your take on how cybersecurity is perceived in the boardrooms.
Uh, there's still a lot of hesitancy in the boardroom about cybersecurity.
Mm.
But the message and the way we present cybersecurity in the boardroom is to address the boardroom in a language that they understand, which is business,
Mhm.
and really show the impacts of a data breach or an incident,
Yeah.
and also addressing what it means for service to go down.
Mhm.
So it's not so much about that they're not receiving it, is that they are not getting the right message that they need to understand that cybersecurity needs to be tied to the business objectives.
Mhm.
And for us, the cybersecurity consultants, we need to communicate at that level. We need to show what you call the ROSI, the return on security investment.
Oh, yeah.
So by making that connection between business
Mhm.
and cybersecurity, tying those together and really understanding where is the business heading and how can we best address those needs, then I think the boardroom will be more open to accepting our cybersecurity messages.
True, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And your
So,
journey seems to have been an interesting one. So would you
Yeah.
mind sharing us a bit of what you've gone through so far in the industry?
Yes, I specialized in healthcare,
Yes.
and my doctorate was cybersecurity in healthcare specifically.
Mhm.
And as you all know, in 2009, the President Obama, passed the Affordable Health Care.
Mhm.
And so here we are trying to improve healthcare
Yes.
and collecting a lot of data. And so historically, we did not think about cybersecurity when we're implementing systems. It was get the system in. And so my experience at that time was that our goal was to implement the system, get it in as soon as possible so that it can meet the compliance.
Yeah.
But the compliance we're trying to meet
Mhm.
was compliance from the Health and Human Services. It was compliance from the Internal Revenue Services.
Mhm.
It was compliance at the local level. But nobody talked about compliance in terms of data breaches.
Mhm.
And so if you look at the healthcare data breaches, I will go as far as saying
Mhm.
electronic health record,
Mhm.
which came about through the push from Obamacare,
Yeah.
has also pushed the cybersecurity criminals to take advantage of that industry. And so healthcare is one of the most breached industries today.
Mhm.
And it just until recently that we're beginning to address some of the issues with patients' privacy,
Yeah.
patient data, and confidentiality.
Okay.
So, you know, healthcare is taking the lead. There's some good things we're doing in healthcare, but the other industries are still lagging. If you go to the internet, healthcare records have been breached. There's a website that shows
Mhm.
the data being breached.
Mhm.
And so we need to address it, like I said, not only from the boardroom,
Yeah.
we need to engage the physicians, the non clinicians, the administrators,
Mhm.
and everybody,
Mhm.
not just an IT issue. Healthcare is not just something that we can just ignore because it affects lives.
True. True. Yeah. We need to consider the secure by design principle. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So you being a lecturer and a doctor in cybersecurity, I believe you have vast knowledge on the next question that I'm yet to ask you. So, what
Okay.
skills in cybersecurity would you recommend to anyone who wants to join cybersecurity, and also who would wish to take up a doctorate or a course in cybersecurity?
Yes, that's another very good question, Veronica. I think we need to get our young people to start getting interest in math.
Yes.
And when I started, we're talking about math like a separate subject from information technology.
Yes.
So you just did math. But today, we need to study math and science,
Mm-hmm.
and not so much the natural sciences, but all the other sciences that ties into computer science.
Oh,
And as well as, I have my master's degree in software engineering,
oh,
trying to understand, you know, connecting that software to the business.
mm-hmm.
And so cybersecurity now is not just an offshoot. You can get a doctorate
Mm.
in cybersecurity
Yeah.
where you'll be studying in depth about cybersecurity law and compliance. And so I look at this as if I was talking to a young person about how to get into this, study math, get some science background, but then understand the business.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity is about improving the bottom line of our industries.
Yes. Yes.
So whether you're working for a bank,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're working in healthcare like myself, or you're working in a factory,
Yes.
you need to understand the importance of assets
Mm-hmm.
and start looking at the bottom line. Most companies today have their um, uh, annual reports online,
Yeah.
and every one of them
Mm-hmm.
have a section that talks about data privacy and data security mitigation of risk.
Yes.
So I would encourage people to get used to learning about business,
Yeah.
because without that, we're not going to get the funding we need
Yeah.
to install and implement all the firewalls or routers or any kinds of intrusion detectors
Yes.
and
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much,
yeah.
Dr. Jerry, for the information and the great insights that you have shared with us today. And I would like to request you to let us
Thank
know,
you.
yeah, where should my viewers find you?
Well, my viewers can find me through, I'm going to give you my WhatsApp number afterwards
Okay.
so they can reach me,
Okay.
as well as I'm going to give you my email address so they can email me with other questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, but I think those two means will be the best way to reach me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just go ahead.
Thank,
Yes. Go ahead and
yeah.
share. Hmm.
So, but the one thing I want to leave my audience with, your audience with, is that
Hmm.
we in Africa
Yeah.
at all levels,
Hmm.
we are all technology savvy today than we were 30 years ago.
Yes.
So
Yes.
cybersecurity affects everyone. It's no longer just something that it's a business thing. It is your cell phone, your smart device,
Yeah.
every device that we have to know how that asset is being protected. So
Yeah.
cybersecurity is for everyone, it affects everyone, and we should learn it at all levels.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go ahead and now and share your contact details if you're okay with that, and then where our viewers can find you as well.
Okay.
Mm.
Uh, so my Gmail is Jerry that Yonga at ICT
Mm.
that edu cm, and my WhatsApp number is 1-612-419-0777.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Jerry. It was a very interesting discussion, and I'm humbled to host you today.
Thank you, Veronica. My pleasure. And I look forward to our engagement and collaboration and help our future generations. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, and have a good day.
You too. Thank you.